In this chapter, we're going to cover blocks, including how to determine when blocks are visible and creating new blocks when you need a custom block or a new block that does something that the system makes available to you. So, what are blocks? They're little key building blocks that you can use to make your site what you need your site to be. Some blocks are created by modules that you will enable, others are created by menus that you build, and others are created by views that you build as well. Some blocks are simply custom markup that you create, or possibly embed code that you place into a block. So perhaps, for example, you would like a PayPal button in your left sidebar, and in order to place that PayPal button there, you will need to grab the embed code from PayPal for the button and then place it somewhere on your site. And you'll use a block to do that. So let's take a quick look at the homepage on the site that we're building here. And I want to point out a couple of things here that happen to be blocks. This search box right here is a block. This toolbox right here is a menu that's displaying as a block. The content area on your site, which is this area over here, is also using what's called a system block, or a block that's generated by Drupal core in order to display all of the key elements of your Drupal site. So really all of the pieces on your site are blocks, which makes them a lot like virtual Legos. You take the little piece that you want and you pop it on wherever it needs to go, and each one builds upon the other to create the entire structure or to create your site. Blocks will display in regions on your site, and regions are layout areas that are defined by your theme. Your theme is the code that renders your design. Now, I'm putting out a lot of terms here, and I want to remind you that Drupal has an entire vocabulary to describe pretty much everything that it does. And the best way to really understand how Drupal works is to understand that vocabulary. And the resource that you always have available to you to help you with that is the Drupal glossary. So I'm going to open up a new tab here and head over to that glossary at drupal.org/glossary. Keep this page available to you at all times because this is very helpful as you're learning Drupal so that you can really understand what's being said and how the site actually works. Heading back to our site, blocks will display in regions that have been defined by your theme. So some of the regions that we're looking at right here would include the left sidebar, which is where the search and tools box are, and then the content region, which is where you're seeing exploring spices and all of the articles that come after that. You also have the header region, which is where the logo, the site name, and the slogan are displaying. Block management can be accessed under the Manage tab under Structure. And then we're going to find the first option here, which is Block Layout. This gives me a page that shows me all of the blocks that are on the site. And we're going to look at this in another lesson. But it also gives me a link right here, Demonstrate Block Regions. If I click on that, now I can see all of the regions into which I can place blocks on this particular site, and I know where they're located. So remember that blocks are like Legos. You can put anything that you want into them, and you can put them anywhere on your site just by popping it into place.